Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism, here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. Well, today I'm going to be talking about a video titled Angels and Demons for Mental Health Wellness. But before I begin, I just wanted to say some housekeeping things. As you all are probably aware, I am offering connections to various entities, some spirits, angels, demons, and other entities through my Etsy store. It will give you the opportunity to advance your magic, level it up, increase your capacity for self-development. It has a lot of different benefits. It's something I'm excited about. I work with this process every day, and so do quite a few other people. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link to the description to my Etsy store if you want to check it out. And if you're not sure about an attunements or what it is, I have a Facebook group that's already established. So if you want to come in and be part of that group and answer questions or find out more information, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so let's get started. So, Angels and Demons for Mental Health Wellness. So one of the things that's becoming more trendy in therapeutic, I guess the world of therapy, is called shadow work. Now this is not something that is new. It is actually fairly old, going back to the early 20th century. The originator of this idea of the shadow comes from Carl Jung, who was a student of Freud's, a Swiss psychiatrist. And he believed that inside of us we have this thing called the shadow, which is essentially the darker, repressed, unevolved aspects of us. Maybe you can think of it as the more immature aspects of us. And this shadow is something that we must work with. In shadow work, the task for the person is to acknowledge it, to understand it, to work with it in order to make better, wiser choices for yourself. The danger, according to Jung, is that if someone is not aware of the shadow or work with it, that which you do not pay attention to, you try to ignore, gets stronger, especially when it comes to things that are inside of us. And that the shadow itself can become stronger and build up, and all of a sudden you just exude darkness, which will express itself in destructive ways. What ways might that be? Well, if you're possessed by the shadow, you could potentially act out in ways that may be out of character because you feel like you're possessed and you cannot do the opposite. So you'll find that people with the shadow stuff that is not being dealt with, they can be more prone to anxiety, depression, maybe acting out violently, extreme anger, that sort of thing. So that's the long and short of the shadow self. But before I get any further, let me do kind of disclaimer. In this video, we're going to be going over some things, and that it is certainly not a substitute for counseling, a psychiatrist, or any other supports if you need it. This would be more in the area of self-improvement. So like, let's say that you were at your house and you said, I want to do some good things for myself, for my own mental health wellness. So you decided to try to stick to a routine for eating and sleeping. You might decide to do some journal writing or any other activity. I would place this in that same sort of thing as a tool in your toolbox to use. In fact, if you were to work with some of these spirits, especially some of the wiser ones, and you needed a doctor or psychiatrist, they might even suggest it, because there are certain things that that we need that even spirits can't provide. In any case, getting back to the shadow stuff. So why am I mentioning this on an occult channel? And that is because there are a few different ways of working with the shadow, And one of the ways that is popular in occult communities is to work with demons and darker spirits. For example, there are people who work through the pathway in the Qliphoth, the dark tree, the other side of the tree of life in the Kabbalah. And at each point they have the demons that you come in contact with, and through working it, some people say that it helps them get in touch with their shadow self. And then when they get through it, then they reach ascension. Now, how does that work? Well, if you've ever worked with any of these entities, is that these darker spirits, by almost anything of a harmonic resonance, will activate the darkness within you. So sometimes when you're working with them, your stuff comes up, and that allows you to work with it in a kind of a, I guess, a metaphysical way. So that's one path. The other path is the psychological way. People have been working with the shadow for quite a while. And I promise you that life will provide enough stimulus and triggers to activate the contents of your shadow self for you to work with, that you don't necessarily need demons to activate and to trigger any of these things or work with it in that way. So, in fact, I've come across people who have used that sort of thing with demons for their shadow work, and have found at times that it was kind of overwhelming. And we certainly don't want that if somebody is having some mental health issues, and that it actually amplifies. So, just to let you know, you have different choices, and everybody has the right to do it in their own way. So let's move on to the angels. So the first one I want to talk about is Zuriel. Now, Zuriel is not a very popular angel. Definitely not someone that you come across too much in the literature. But Zuriel, as the name goes in Hebrew, means that rock, God is my rock, or my rock is God, something along that nature. He is the angel of vitality. He is associated with sexuality, again, vitality, energy, the life force. Associated with magic, so one could go and petition Zuriel to improve their magical ability. But he specifically is associated with mental health. I've come across him associated with people working with depression, dementia, and other things. So I haven't really come across any other angel where specifically people have worked with him, with other angels for these specific things. Just kind of general health and wellness for the other angels. So it's definitely someone to look into. Now, the other angels are ones I've talked about before in other videos, so you are more than welcome to go and look that up too. So the first one would be Raphael. Raphael, God is my healer. That's what his name means. Raphael is associated with kind of general physical and mental health, mental wellness. He is very good, at least when I work with Raphael, he's very good at relieving stress, anxiety. One of the things that he is good at is removing parasitic entities from your aura, from your energy systems. If you are somebody who has trouble sleeping because of, let's say, worry, anxiety, that's also something that is his purview. Since we're on that side of things, the right-hand path, light side, if you don't necessarily identify as Christian and you work with Jesus, or maybe you are Christian and work with Jesus, Jesus is somebody as an entity that you could work with for these exact same things, removing parasitic entities, helping you sleep, anxiety, stress relief, that sort of thing. So the last one I want to talk about is Buer. Now, Buer is not an angel. He is classified as a demon. He is the 10th spirit in the Goetia. He is known to have knowledge of herbs and plants. So if any of you all are herbalists or work with plants for medicinal purposes, then he would definitely be your guy. I think of him as kind of like the counterpart to Raphael. He is, although he is in the dark, he has the darker flavor, so he's going to feel different than Raphael. But that is his area. So what you have is you have Zuriel, you have Raphael, you have Buer, and if you want to do the shadow work, then you have the psychological approach, or you have the more the demonic approach. So in any case, please subscribe and like. Check out the Etsy store if you're interested in attunements, and I will put the link for the Facebook group below, and I will see you in a future video. Take care. Bye-bye.